I'm back with 10 more Midjourney styles that you can add to the end of your prompts, separated by a comma to get some images similar to what you see on screen right now. The first style is CRT TV Modulation effect in black and blue. Can be a little hit and miss, but gets some interesting results nonetheless. The black and blue works pretty well, but the TV modulation adds some nice little kind of glitch elements, or in this case, sometimes the TV. So this is Barbie. I thought this was an interesting take on the colors. In Superman, the way it has that kind of like scanline effect and just those sort of glitchy elements around the screen and the blue glow looks pretty cool. And also Darth Maul, he's got blue skin for some reason instead of red. It's just the way it kind of textures things up and the effect it has is just interesting. In Deadpool, I really love the glow and the blue flames around him, and it just has like a real, it's kind of like just like a dark feel to it, but with that blue light. And the next style is in the style of 1980s Transformers G1. If any of you watched this in the 80s, you'll get what I mean. We have Deadpool again. He's got the Optimus Prime ears and the robot sort of suit, but still the sword. Pretty cool take on that character. And Goku, he's just kind of got a robotic suit on, which has a little bit of a Transformers-esque style to it. A little bit more Iron Man with the glowing chest. And Superman, very Megatron, I feel, apart from the lack of the gun, but the big boxy chest and boxy shoulders. I love the way that this one turned out. And Barbie has one pointy shoulder pad, but for some reason the rest isn't. But just an interesting kind of like Japanese 1980s robotic sort of female character style. And a woman's face. I love the way it popped the helmet around the face and just made a very interesting image. And Darth Vader looking very blocky again. Once again, it really has stuck to that Terminator style. And the lightsaber is actually a gun, which is very reminiscent of the 1980s Transformers style. And the Terminator, he looks evil and has the same coloring, but more of a Transformers style head, which is a really cool picture. And Pikachu, very boxy, very mean, ready for battle, ready to fight some Autobots, maybe? He doesn't look like a nice guy, but I could be wrong. And the Hulk, again, very Megatron-esque. I love the boxiness. I love the boxy sort of chest and shoulder pads. It's just a really cool style. And Cassini style map. This is the it's like an old-fashioned type map that is kind of like the basis of modern-day maps made by a guy called Cassini. You can see here a lot of detail on that map around Batman. So he's kind of embedded into a Cassini style map. And the Incredible Hulk, he's also, same thing, just embedded into an old-fashioned map, and the fade and the old-fashioned paper texture really sets it off. And Optimus Prime, more like a star-type map, a little bit different. It has a little bit of a grid attached to it. You can kind of see how it's affected the image, but it's a little bit different than what I expected, and it's definitely not Optimus Prime. And Darth Vader, once again, embedded into the map, which I thought was a pretty cool touch, but also the line work and the way he's drawn really matches a map style and that old illustration style. And the woman's face, even inside her pupil, there's little kind of elements of the map. Her face is part map, and I love the way this blended together. And a modern family home looks like a shot from above, like a map view of the home. And Deadpool, just standing in front of the map, breaking the fourth wall as he normally does. In the Terminator, this one has a few grid lines and is a little less of a Cassini-style map, but just a cool image. And extremely distorted mirror style. I thought this was a pretty fun style. Probably not my favorite in this list, but you can see here with Superman, he looks like he's being sucked into like a liquidy type mirror. And this happened a lot with the images, but not every single one. Whereas Optimus Prime's like a shattered style mirror. It doesn't do Optimus Prime very well. It just sort of does a robot. But I do still like the impact because it is very Transformer-esque. And Darth Maul, kind of like two mirrors either side of him. It looks like he's found some magic mirrors somewhere out in some weird sort of Sith land. And looks like a pretty cool image. And Deadpool, like a reflective mirror style of Deadpool. It's actually added a little bit of yellow to the right. I wonder if it's kind of referencing some of the Deadpool and Wolverine material that's out there at the moment. And Barbie, a crack through the middle, reflecting her face in the mirror. Very interesting looking image, and it's just done a great job with the texture of the plastic too, just sort of a bit of a side note. And Mickey Mouse, kind of caught in that liquid mirror, much like one of the other images earlier. Just a very interesting image. Now, if you haven't already, check out my Midjourney Style Pack. Over 1,000 styles you can apply to your Midjourney prompts to get some pretty stunning images. And photo taken by NASA. This was, when I thought of Cassini style map, it just reminded me of this. And Goku, he's looking over planet Earth. There seems to be some kind of weird collision happening off in the top right, where some other round planet or small force is hitting Earth, but otherwise, just that view from outer space is nice. We get the same with Pikachu floating around in space. So this must be something that the astronauts encountered when they went up to the moon. And the Terminator, he now works for NASA. NASA, while being very smart at moon landings, is not very good at identifying who a potential risk could be when hiring for a moon landing. And Darth Vader, he's playing it safe. He's inside the spacecraft looking out. Looks like one of the old 60s shots, the way it's in black and white, but there's still a bit of color on his chest panel. And the Incredible Hulk is just kind of flying above some buildings. I get the reference and the way it's kind of thought about it, but just thought I'd share that one. Batman, he's looking out the window of the ship. This was a really cool image, kind of like if the Nolanverse continued and eventually made its point to where he's in space. So it kind of has that look to it. And the modern family home, I love the planets in the sky and the style of the home. Very cool impact. And the woman's face, the galaxy off to the side of her face and around her. This is just a really fun and cool looking image. And complete darkness with only the key light visible. So this is one I developed thinking about key lights and nothing else. You see Deadpool, very dark room with just a bit of a key light around him. There's more visible than the key light, but it still has a good impact. Whereas a woman, we get a little bit more of the woman's face. It's just that nice, really dark, one light off to the side, creepy kind of look. And Mickey Mouse, again, looking very creepy with that single light in front and obviously some light behind him. And the Terminator, those glowing eyes, really sets it off. And the key light, spot on with this particular image. And Optimus Prime, looking a little bit more evil with those two chest plates really glowing, but just the darkness and the glowing of the image I really appreciate. And Pikachu, looks like he's about to go Super Saiyan. But that darkness in the image I think works really well. In Superman, looks like he's in a very dark room. It just does a really good job of darkening everything up. And the samurai in front of Mount Fuji, I love the darkness of this, like a real midnight look at the mountain before he's about to go off into battle. And Darth Maul, this image I thought was awesome. The contrast of the color, the darkness. This looks like it would be an awesome shot from a movie. And Cryptic Minimalism, something a little bit different again. Once again, we've got Deadpool, very minimalistic sort of use, and the word cryptic just sort of like adds an interesting spin to it. And the Incredible Hulk, once again, just kind of him in the middle of nothing, along with Darth Maul. Looks like he's got a bit of a beard in this one, but it could just be the strokes. But the way it simplifies the image, this isn't a simple, clean image, but the way it kind of removes the background and just has the subject, or maybe just something a little abstract in the background is nice. Same with the Terminator. It's just him, a black print over red, very nice effect. In the futuristic car, I just love the colors. The use of colors in this image really stands out as just striking compared to what I usually get. And a woman's face. They didn't all turn out like this, but I thought this was the most interesting with the little weird effects it has with the black and the little boxes. Very interesting way it's gone with this one. And Optimus Prime, again, doesn't look like Optimus Prime primarily, but does have those features there. But once again, just simple, no background, clean. Seems to steer towards red a lot when using cryptic minimalism. But except for Pikachu, completely yellow. He's just on a yellow background and a very nice minimalistic shot. And volumetric darkness. I had another idea when I looked up volumetric lightness to try volumetric darkness while experimenting with dark environments. And the Incredible Hulk. I love the effect that this has on that image. Very dark with a little bit of light. And the modern family home is just a dark home, and it's a very dull sort of evening. I love the way it's taken that and just sort of switched the color of the actual building. And the Terminator, I love this image because it's so dark. There's a little red highlight off to the side, glowing red eye. If you saw that in the middle of the night, you would absolutely just be terrified. And Batman looks like he's about to do something bad, about to go and try and kill Superman. Looks like it is Batfleck after all, but that cool, dark, sort of harsh light, very nice impact on the image. And Goku, he is about to charge up. I love the light in this image, the use of blue and red. Very, very cool way to use darkness. And the woman's face, once again, just a little bit of light shining through, just to show that she's kind of looking through a crack of something from the darkness. In the futuristic car, once again, just nice and dark, but a very cool and chic looking car. And biblical times. This one has a very interesting impact on certain characters. The Terminator, he looks like he looks like a pretty good guy. Just has a nice look on his face, and he, with the old building in the background, very biblical. Deadpool looks like he's playing it up, like he's playing and pretending to be an innocent victim, but we kind of know he's not really. Whereas Darth Vader, he has changed his ways and decided to turn to religion, and I think this was a very funny image. Whereas Hulk, he is different. He is delivering the commandments, and he's using his authority and dominating presence to do that. Batman has kind of grown a beard and long hair. I just thought that was interesting. And Mario, this one is really cool. Just a completely unique take on this character. But the woman's face just kind of looks like an old painting, and I appreciate that. Little cracks in the paint. I love that effect. Very, very interesting sort of impact it's had. Pikachu, he is dressed up like a biblical character from that time with that bit of sort of cloth over him. I love that. That's just like a nice little costume change. And shot with a linear prism filter has an interesting effect, such as Goku. This looks like something that's been shot through a filter. Very interesting lighting overall. Batman, this effect looks really cool. The way the light's kind of creeping in and that vertical glitch style, really, really cool picture. And the futuristic car just kind of looks like a futuristic car with neon lights, but still a cool image. Whereas the Terminator, we can see the scan lines present. We can see more of a digital sort of effect, which is why it's interesting. You don't always get the effect you describe, but quite often you do get an effect. And the woman's face, this actually has a bit of a light splitting kind of feel being shown sort of on her face. And I really just think this image has a nice glow to it. And Darth Vader, looking like a bit of a light leak going on, sort of nice purpley pinky kind of hue coming in from one side. Very nice picture. I always love that glow. The glow looks good. And the Incredible Hulk, we've got that blur, that kind of radial blur around him. Nice sharp focus on his face. So it has kind of used that, but if you look at his hair, you can still see where the color splits a little bit. And finally, a bonus, Datamoshing. A little bit different and has a bit of a digital effect. It's kind of hard to describe with the car, but you can see what I mean. And Batman, some digital elements vertically passing through his face. And of course, Goku, he looks very data-ish, lots of data glitches and bits and pieces. You can just sort of see what this does, and I don't really know how to describe it, but you know what I mean here. Optimus Prime, very glitchy, very data-y, kind of like an old broken down sort of bit of information trying to be decoded. And the Incredible Hulk, he's like losing bits and pieces of him, like if he was made of data, the data is becoming corrupt. And the woman's face, just a bit of an overlay of some data elements, things like that over the top. Still a nice image. And Darth Maul, more the background around him. Still a nice image, but not my favorite in this lineup. And Barbie, she kind of has like a data texture just overlaid over her skin. Reminds me of old 90s sci-fi movies, that really fake CGI look, but still I like the impact. And Superman, I love the sort of diagonal lines, the use of that with the little sort of glitch boxes and things. Very interesting effect on this image. And the Terminator, we've got that similar effect again. I like the blue on the right, the blue on the left and the pink on the right. Little glitchy data elements coming off to the side. Just again, I really like that style, so it's just a pretty cool image. But otherwise, those are the 10 styles for this week. Thanks for hanging around and checking out the video, guys. If you like it, please give it a like. Otherwise, hope to see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.